What's going on, guys? Alex here, and today in this episode, let's look at the Empire Defender. This is a really cool marker that unfortunately is just kind of got sucked into that black hole of not too many people know it exists, and the people who don't know that it does exist don't know a lot about it. Unfortunately, I think when it was released, Empire didn't really do a solid job of really marketing it and getting it out there. I think the other problem is, with media and everything, the way, it is in our sport, with the exception of a couple people, Woods Ball scenario, milsim type stuff, really just doesn't get a lot of press attention. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this thing. I'm going to rip it apart for you. It's really simple. It's all toolless. It's toolless for all the parts that you would need to take off and want to take off. And then we're going to throw it back together and just kind of talk about it as we go, just so we keep this video nice and quick and informative. So basically, right off the bat, this whole thing, for being rather large, is actually quite light. It's made out of magnesium instead of aluminum. Magnesium is a lot lighter metal, for those who don't know. Right in the back here, this big giant box-looking deal is obviously the main attraction of this marker. This is the hopper, and no, it is not a Z2. You'll see a drive cone inside here in a little bit, and that is the drive cone of the Z2, but that's where the similarities end. It's more reminiscent of, if anybody's old enough to remember, the old warp feeds. Basically, the drive cone down here pushes it up through a raceway that goes all the way up here and puts it down right into the breech. The ASA right at the bottom is the same ASA you're going to find on the Vanquish, the new Axe, the Mini GS. They're really nice ASA. You've got a selector switch right here. You've got 3 firing modes. You've got, obviously, white is safe, and then the 3 firing modes, semi, 3-shot burst, and full auto. You have toolless eye covers. You can go ahead and take that off. The body on the inside of this gun, you're looking at an Empire Axe, basically. It's internally quite the same. Couple differences, though. They don't use an eye board in this gun. They actually have a set of wired eyes, so you can go ahead and get at those and clean them out if you want to. Nice toolless eye covers help a lot with that. Right up front here, you have a nice plastic molded foregrip with either a vertical stabilizing foregrip or an angled foregrip. The trigger is a micro switch, single finger trigger, but it is a micro switch, so it's got nice feedback and a nice spring return. Clicks really well. The barrel. This marker is supplied with 2 barrels. This is the standard barrel. The other barrel has an Apex 2 tip on it, so it's not just a tip that you can add on to it. It actually comes with 2 full barrels. Best part about these is that they're freak board. That really is going to help out the performance of this marker. Being a 12-inch barrel, it is very generously ported here, but getting that paint bore match, with the barrel is just going to be invaluable. I believe it comes with 3 or 4 freak inserts, ranging from about 8.0 to 9.0, maybe 9.5. This is an 8.5 right here. That's definitely really cool. Right in the back, this is the lid for the hopper. It's magnetic, as you can see there. It does come with a second one in the box that is a speed feed. That is easily swapped out by this little piece with a screw right here that just holds this in place at that pivot point. And you can go ahead and swap that, and you can have a speed feed, so that if you're holding this and you're shooting, you don't have to back off, open up the lid, it gets in your face. You can just take your pod and dump it and get out of there. Other than that, you'll see this little notch right here in the side of the gun, depending on how good the lighting is. There's one just like it in the other side. That's going to be your velocity adjustment. You'll see that. You'll see how that works when I take the body out of the gun. Battery pack right here in the back. Toolless access to that. Go ahead and push in those 2 little spring-loaded buttons, and you've got a 6AA battery pack. No wires, no nothing. It just has the leads right here. You go ahead and set it in, and basically how this plastic piece is molded on the inside, it just pushes that battery pack right up to leads, and you're good to go. So let's go ahead and take this thing apart. It's really, really simple. What we're going to do first is take off this whole top rail mounting piece. You'll see a silver spring-loaded button right here, and there's one just like it on the other side. You're going to push those two in, and then you can grab a hold of the rails and slide it back. At this point, you can just go ahead and lift it up and out. Next, you'll see a quick strip pin right here and a quick strip pin right there. They're both different, but the one in the front is a lot shorter. The one in the back is a lot longer, so we can't really mix them up. They're really easy to tell. So what we're going to go do is push those quick strip pins out. They come out towards me, so you can push in on your side of the video here. And we're going to go ahead and pull those two out and put them aside. And at this point, you'll see this little raceway right here, and it's got a big lip right up here. So we can go ahead and lift up on that and pull this raceway out. So you'll see this is where the paint actually comes in and is channeled to the breech of the gun. You've got the hopper and the drive cone right here, and it spins, it spins, it spins, and it pushes paint up to a bottom connecting piece that sits right here, another pipe elbow, and it pushes paint up. And it comes up and goes along this raceway, and then it's forced down right into the breech of the gun right here by another elbow. So at this point, if you haven't taken the barrel out already, I left mine out on purpose because this is screwed into the body of the gun, which we're going to take out, and you won't be able to take out the body without taking off the barrel. So if you haven't done that at this point, go ahead and take your barrel out. And now you'll see, if you look down inside, you'll see a big hole right here and this big blocky metal body that's in there. If this were any tournament gun or anything like that, that's where the feed neck would screw in. So that's the breech. So what we can do is go ahead and just put your finger in there and pull it out. So without looking at the body yet, that is basically everything that you could ever want to get at inside this gun. Out, and realistically you can do that in less than 20 seconds. It's really, really easy. If you look down in there, depending on the lighting, you'll see that drive cone that's down inside in here. Yes, that is a Z2 drive cone. No, nothing else is a Z2 in here. That's it. So let's go ahead and put that body aside and take a look at this. This is an Empire Axe. Your solenoid right here, the top end of the air transfer tube right here. The main circuit board right there, although a little bit different. The micro switch is in the same place, just like it would be on an axe. Right below this capacitor is where those wired eyes go into, and not sure how well the lighting is and how well the resolution on the camera is, or what you're watching this in. You might or may not be able to see a little piece of square black tape here. And here, those are where those lasered eyes go into the side of the body. That's also where those detents are, and they use little rubber finger detents. So that's really nice. They're quick and easy to replace. Right in the back, this basically functions just like an Empire Axe. So it's the same, to get the bolt out, it's that same push the button, and then you can twist, pull, twist, pull. The button is, instead of just being on the side over here, it's just on the back right over here. So what we're going to do is push the button, so we can just twist, pull, twist, and pull. And there you have your Empire Axe. Exact same bolt, exact same spring, exact same bolt guide up until this back portion. That's just so it can work here in the Defender. You remember those little slots right on the side of the body where you can adjust the velocity? Well, this is that back cap that normally on an Empire Axe is an Allen key right in the back to turn it in and out. Well, here it's just slotted all around with a bunch of holes, so you can stick an Allen key into the side to that slot in the body and turn this just like that. So that's really basically it. It's very, very simple. You clean and maintain this thing just like an axe, just with a little extra pieces. You'd want to make sure that you clean out this raceway of any paint or debris or anything like that. You'd want to wipe the top of this down. This is the top of the raceway. Make sure you want to wipe that down too. And obviously a barrel's a barrel. You can clean that out just like normal. So for a woods ball scenario again, it really shoots nice. You're basically shooting an Empire Axe, but the body is heavier and it's covered up by more stuff, so it's really quiet and it's really smooth. I've shot this a couple times. I think it has a really nice shot quality. I'm really impressed with what Empire did here. I think they did a fantastic job on this gun, and I think it's a shame it hasn't got more publicity or attention. That's why I wanted to do a video of it and get it up, just so you guys can check it out. It's really nice performing, well thought out marker. I'm really impressed with what Empire did here. Currently these markers are $999.99, so they're $1,000. That is, $1,000 is a lot of money comparatively to the Die Dam. I think it's a better value, and the Die Dam just went up in price from $1,300 to $1,500. I like this better than the Dam. If I had to shoot one of the two, I'd absolutely shoot the Empire Defender, no questions asked. And that's really all I got. It's just disappointing not to see these things around anymore. Because of all the maintenance, and the toolless design of this is so simple and well thought out. Everything's nice, easy access. Everything's adjusted very easily. So hopefully we'll get to see more in the future and they don't discontinue it really quickly. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and throw this back together, and then I can show you one last thing as we throw it back together that's really neat. So we're just going to do the reverse of what we usually do. You'll see down inside the body, there's two little mini circuit board looking deals that have some pins, and that connects to the main circuit board. When you go ahead and put this body in, there's really only one place it can actually fit. So as you put it in, it just kind of slides into place, and you can't really mess it up. So we're just going to kind of set it in the channel right here, and then we're just going to push it down just like that. And I'm going to push the power button and make sure it's all connected fine, which it is. So at this point we can go ahead and put this raceway back in and just kind of drop it into its place there. There we go. Oh, did that settle? No. This is probably the only part that I've had a reasonable difficulty with. For some reason this top just sometimes just doesn't fit quite right, and that time it just slid right down and went right into place. So there you go. You can probably do it better and faster than I can at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and put these quick strip pins in, and this top plate. I'm gonna go ahead and you'll see some grooves right on the side here, and you'll see some little pieces of metal that kind of exert out, and you line them up, and it squeezes back into place and just kind of slides on a little track that's in there. So we're gonna have to push those silver buttons back in so it can drop back down in all the way, and then you just push it forward and it snaps back into place. And then we can just go ahead and put the barrel on. So now what I can do is I can turn this gun on, and how this feeding system works, if you're curious, is because everything is connected. Every time you pull the trigger, this drive cone is going to cycle and spin so it can continuously feed paint to the marker. This is a lot like some really old technology, if anybody remembers IntelliFeeds on Revies or anything like that. It's basically how it works. So I'm going to go ahead, and you cannot turn this gun on or off unless it's on safe. So put it on safe, go ahead and turn it on, and give me a green light. It means it's safe. And I'm just going to turn it on semi-auto, and you get a flashing red light, which means it's safe. Those eyes are on those, so if I pull the trigger, the hopper is going to spin, but the solenoid won't actually click and it won't actually fire. So we're just going to go ahead and, just like the axe, we're just going to push this once, and it'll rapid blink, and that means we can actually shoot it. So now every time I pull the trigger, you'll hear this hopper cycle, and that's basically how this thing feeds. So if we keep pulling the trigger, this thing will just keep going. Awesome. And right at the end here, if we go ahead and put this back on safe, and we're going to push and hold just like on the axe to turn it off. And you'll hear, like I said earlier, this hopper actually spins in reverse to suck all the paint out of this raceway so that none of it gets stuck up here and is sitting up here till the next time you use it, and it gets all bad, and then you can't get it out, and it's really gross. And when you go to turn it off, this actually spins in reverse and pulls all that paint down and out. So we're going to go ahead and turn it off, and you'll hear that. There you go. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just a quick look at the Empire Defender. I'd love to shoot it for you guys today, but it is pouring rain still. And that's just not something I'm going to do, especially with the camera equipment and everything. So I hope you enjoyed this Let's Look At, guys. If you have any questions or anything like that, just leave it in the comments below. And I'll do my best to get back to you guys like always. If you enjoyed what you saw and you found this informative at all or anything, or you just enjoyed it in the first place, go ahead and click that like button. I'd really appreciate it. It definitely really helps out the channel. And that's all I got. So I will see you guys next time.